So you're a good leader, you're good at your job, deliver results, solve problems, but nobody seems to know about it. And when the opportunities come up, you're not even in the conversation. This is a visibility gap. And if you are looking for promotion in the next 12 months, it's going to be costing you more than you think. If you're new here, I'm Zoë Thompson. I'm a leadership and performance coach. And I help leaders to be more efficient, more effective, and create self-sufficient teams that are confident and resilient and able to handle things in their absence. Better leaders, better balance. Leaders that go home on time and can take a week off, zero work, zero stress, and zero guilt. One of the biggest gaps I see is between leaders who are genuinely good at their jobs and leaders who are visible for being good at their jobs. Two things, not the same. So let me explain what I mean. Being good at your work and being visible for your work are two completely different things. You can be excellent at your job. A lot of people are, maybe most people are, but still be invisible. You can show up, deliver results, solve problems, and nobody knows. We are invisible in terms of what we are able to do and the potential that comes with it. And when this happens, it often impacts our confidence as well. People who are genuinely good at their jobs, but less good at talking about how good they are at doing their jobs. They're so focused on doing the work that they forget to show the work. They sit quietly, they observe. They're kind of relying on the fact that their results will speak for themselves. The challenge is the results don't always speak for themselves. And when they do, it's not always in the way that you want them to and in the way that you want to present yourself, whether that is for future opportunities or whether it's to be recognized for the value and the impact that you provide. I certainly saw this back when I was in leadership positions, and my clients talk about this a lot too. They're in the room, but they're not in the room. They're there, but they're not noticed. They sit quietly, they're observing, they're taking it all in, they're waiting for their moment, but they're also not contributing. And they're waiting to be asked a question instead of actively raising their hand and getting involved. Waiting to be asked doesn't make you visible, and you are not influencing how you want to be seen. So sitting quietly is not going to help you to be seen. It's also not going to help you to be seen in the way that you want to be seen. You're just sitting there hoping that someone notices, hoping that somebody asks you that question that gives you the opportunity to display and demonstrate your capability, your knowledge, your skills. And if someone doesn't do that, they're not going to see it. The risk of that is that when opportunities come up, promotions, projects, expansion roles, your name is not even in the conversation. And that's not because you're not capable. It's not because you don't have that potential. It's because people aren't thinking of you. You are not front of mind. You want to be popping up in their mind when opportunities arise. If you're invisible, it's not going to happen. Good work, visible work, not in competition here. You can absolutely have both. In my experience, visibility doesn't just happen in one place. It happens in 3 different places: in the room, in your one-to-ones, and with your wider network. So in the room, this is your meetings, your presentations in that group setting. You've got to take up space. You need to be in the room, elbows out, chin up, eye contact. Make sure that people see you and hear you. Have one thing to ask, one thing to answer, one thing to contribute. This is not about dominating the room or being loud. It's definitely not about talking for the sake of talking, but it is about being present and intentional. So when you're in a meeting, are you actually in the meeting? Are you physically there and also mentally there? Are you contributing? Are you asking questions? Are you sharing your thinking? This is firstly not the time to wing it, but secondly, it's also not the time to be distracted by tech devices, emails coming through. And especially with hybrid meetings, if you are online, you need to be seen as being present. Cameras on, eye contact, get engaged with what's going on in the room. Don't let people see that you are on devices, checking your emails, typing on screen, or distracted. You have to be seen as being present. You have to contribute if you want to be recognized. Secondly, your one-to-one, whether this is with your manager, whether this is with others. These conversations really matter. And they are definitely conversations that you need to make time for and also to prepare for. Don't just show up and sit there passively waiting to receive the information that somebody is willing, ready, or able to share with you. Go in there with the questions to ask to find out what it is that you want to know. Your development is your responsibility. You want your manager's support, absolutely, but it's your responsibility to own. What direction do you want? What development do you want? What are you working towards? What do you need them to know? What do you need them to know that you're working on? Where do you want them to see your potential? Remember, it's a show and tell here. You don't have to prove it, but you do need to tell them what you're doing. It's not just about giving them the tactical updates. You need to show them that you are working at and ready for that next level. If you're somebody that works with senior stakeholders, book in time to have conversations with them. Show them where you are able to think beyond your immediate role. Where are you seeing opportunities? What are you able to see that they are not? What are their blind spots that you might be able to share some information on? Where are you seeing the organization's direction? Have these conversations with them and with your peers too, especially when there's intersecting work. Where do your areas connect with other people? Where do you add value into somebody else's world? These conversations need to happen regularly. I know calendars are busy. I know it's hard to get time booked in. You need to get it booked in, not just the once a year review or when the bonus is coming up. You need to get these conversations booked in, and you need to protect that time, and you need to prepare for that time so you get the best out of these conversations. Thirdly, the wider network. It might be cross-functional, it might be external. You need to be visible beyond your immediate team. You know that your team know who you are. Who else needs to know who you are and what you do? You need to think about who needs to know about your work, who needs to know about your capability, the way that you think, the way that you respond to things. Who can see your potential? This is not transactional networking. It's intentional two-way relationship building. You're not working the room, collecting the business cards or contact names. This is you walking into a room with intention to build genuine connections with people who matter to your work and your development. One of the images that I've shared in a recent workshop with my clients and my leadership community is a visual of a mountain. So I'll put the graphic up on screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. It's the 3 levels of leadership thinking. I want you to think about where you currently are and where you're going next. And I want you to think about how you can come into these conversations that I've just been talking about and help people to see that you are already halfway between the point that you are at and where you are heading to. Show your levels of thinking that help people to see not just your potential, but where you're already there. So you've got execution level, the short-term ground level. This is tactical leadership roles, which is where some of you will be. It's very immediate, short-term, on the ground level. It's execution. What do I need to do today? What do I need to deliver on today? Then you've got medium management, probably the most challenging level of management because you are sitting right there in the middle. But your focus is going to be medium term. What systems do you need? What's the workflow? What do you need to coordinate? How do you help clear the way for the leaders that are at that execution level below you? You are thinking medium term to be able to support the leaders on the ground. And then you've got the top level. You're thinking long term. You are at the top of the mountain. You've got a 360-degree view. You are able to see far and wide. And that is your responsibility up there, to be thinking long term, to be horizon scanning, to look to see what is coming up. You're making decisions that impact the long term. You are writing processes, procedures. You are putting things in place for the people, the culture, and the future of that business or your area of the business. You are at the top with that long-term, wide view, and that is where your focus needs to be. Your visibility isn't just about being noticed at the level that you are at, it's also being noticed for thinking and behaving at that next level. You want to make sure that when you are talking things through, that you aren't just thinking at the level that you are at, that you are thinking at that next level as well. It's the visibility that you want to show. And as I said at the beginning, especially if you are looking at getting promoted in the next 12 to 18 months, you want people to see that you are already climbing the mountain into that next level. We want you to close the gap between invisible and visible. If you want to be visible, you need to show and tell. Showing is always better than telling. If you can do both, even better. You don't become visible by just talking about how good you are. You need to be able to demonstrate that, which is why the showing is important as much as the telling. People need the words, but they also need to see the actions. When we talked about this in the workshop, I talked about 3 different signals that show, demonstrate that next level readiness that's going to help your visibility. So the first one is thinking about the whole and not just the part that you play. In a meeting, when a problem comes up, do you talk about the solution for just your part of it, or are you thinking about how it impacts and how it affects the bigger picture? Are you seeing how different things connect together, or are you just looking at your small part of the problem? Thinking systemically, thinking about the big picture, that's what people are going to notice, and they're going to notice that next level of leadership thinking. The second one is that you're developing others and not just delivering. This is not just you getting your work done. It's also you recognizing that your responsibility within your leadership is helping all of your team to get better. Are you coaching people up? Are you calling people up? Are you looking for the potential within your team and supporting them to build their capability? When you're visible for developing other people, you're visible in terms of how you lead. And it's such an important leadership strength, because leaders develop leaders. People will want to see this within your capability. So make sure that where you are seeing opportunities for other people, where you are developing your team, that you are showing people how you are doing that. Number 3, we talk about all the time, bringing solutions, not just problems. It's an age-old statement, isn't it? Don't just bring me problems, bring me the solutions as well. And when we're talking about this in terms of visibility, think about that mountain. Think about where your level of solution is sitting. Don't just bring the solutions to the problems at that lower level. Think about those solutions that will help resolve the problem at that higher level and have a bigger impact. I'm not sure anybody ever wants somebody to just bring problems without any suggestions for solution, but come with your thinking. Even if you haven't reached a solution, come with your working out. Come and talk through what you've considered, what has been considered as an option, but maybe you've disregarded it, where you've considered risks, where you've considered benefits. Show your workings out. So even if you don't have a clear solution to bring as an offer, talk through what you have considered and not considered, and show your decision making, because that's the skill that they're looking for. It's not always about the solution that you bring. It's being able to demonstrate that you are able to make sound decisions, that you're able to consider all of the options, that you are able to think things through. Show that you're able to firstly see the problems coming. The more you can do that in advance, the better. Show that you are able to consider what potential solutions are, and show that you are able to make sound decisions. So much of our reputation is on being liked, on being known, and on being trusted. We need to be visible with that credibility. This isn't just about showing up and being really impressive. We also need to build the trust and the rapport and those relationships alongside it. We know that in leadership, being liked is very hard to achieve. Being respected is, in my opinion, a much better aim than being liked. But you do need to be liked. You do need to be trusted, and people do need to respect you and the decisions that you make. When people get to know you, when they trust you, when they respect you and the way that you think, the way that you do things, that's when you are visible. That's when you're in the conversation, and that is going to increase the opportunities that find their way to you. You can be very proactive in going out there and looking for the opportunities, but we also know that so many of these opportunities are other people putting our names in the room. So we have to be visible. We have to make sure that people know what it is that we are able to do, what it is that we're good at, where our strengths are, and also where our potential is sitting too. So much of this stuff you can practice. So much of this stuff you can just bring into your day to day. You're already in the rooms. You're already having these conversations. This is shifting from being more reactive and waiting for those opportunities to come up to being intentional, being purposeful, and thinking, how can I make the best of being in that room? How can I make the best out of this conversation? How can I prepare? How can I make sure that when I leave that conversation, I have left the impression that I want to leave in the room? Show up, be engaged, be present, contribute, ask a great question. It's not always about dominating that space with your answers and with your solutions. Sometimes asking a really well-placed question shows that you're thinking, and you're thinking at that next level. Be intentional and be present. Be prepared and purposeful. If you have one thing that you want to say, think about that before you go in the room. What's the one thing that you want to share that's going to help your visibility? What's a question that you might want to ask? Don't wing it. Do not wing it. You want to be visible in the spaces you are already in, and you want your name to be in the room of the spaces that you aren't. This is why visibility matters so much. It's not ego. It's not being the loudest. It's not having a smart answer for everything. It's not about getting involved in everything. It's making sure the people who matter, your manager, your stakeholders, the leaders above you and around you, know what you are capable of, how you think, how you make decisions, how you show up and behave and engage with people, and where they are seeing your potential. Because often they see that potential higher than you even see it at the moment. If you're good at your job, but not showing how good you are at your job, you are going to stay invisible. Those opportunities are going to miss you. They're going to come straight past you and straight out to the people who know how to be visible. You need to be good at your job and be visible with it. That's when you move up. That's when you get the opportunities. That's when you get seen. And that needs to be done with intention. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I would love to know what your light bulb is as you've watched this video through. And I would, as always, love to hear your next step. So take the learning, turn it into action, something small, something simple, and make it specific. Think about where you can apply this, what meeting's coming up, when's your next one-to-one, how can you prepare differently this time to make sure that you get what you want from that conversation and make sure that you are visible in the room. There are plenty of videos like this on the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and then you'll get notifications when new content is released. If you want a little bit more, you are very welcome to come and check out the leadership community. We have conversations like this all the time. We problem solve challenges like this in our group coaching calls. And when common themes come up, I create a workshop. We've just done a workshop on this very topic. So if you want to find out more, and you want to have a look to see what's in the Leadership Resource Library, and you want access to more content like this in more depth, check out the leadership community. And if you want to have a conversation about how we could potentially work together, head to the website, book in a call, and I would love to have a chat with you. So remember, show, don't tell. Make sure you are seen and heard. Good luck.